السلام عليكم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. We wanted to change the subject, not completely different from the story of the Prophet Abraham, but within the story of the Prophet Abraham, still we are going to study a section as it is narrated in the Quran concerning the Abrahamic experience, and we will share it. So Talu had a question, and we wanted to discuss this matter because it is related to the present event now. People are excited about it.
So I had a question. My question was, it's been said a lot that the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the best days of the year, and that these are the best days in which to make dhikr and make dua. And I was just trying to understand, just kind of reconcile that. How can I, as an individual, how can I, as Tolu, confirm that these days are the best 10 days of the year? Because as I walk around, it seems like most other days of the year to me. Mm-hmm. So how can I really confirm that these 10 days are the best days of the year, and that these are the days in which I should be making a lot of dhikr and a lot of dua in these 10 days?
The beauty is in the eye of the observer, beholder. So the days are the same days, of course, and we observe the same manifestations, but what makes the day is most precious for me depends on my experience. What do I feel it? How do I regard it? So this is not the day that created our sight. They are the best creatures. But our duty is what we do today is we are expected to commemorate the story of Abraham as it is narrated in the Quran. So get involved in this story, refresh your mind. You keep saying that we have to do these days, zikr and dua. It means remembering something, and praying accordingly. It means supplicating according to our remembrance. I would take it these words in this context. So what we are expected to engage our feelings with the memory of the Prophet Abraham's preparation for something that occurred to him. It is narrated here. Actually, today is the eve of the day of Hajj, pilgrimage, or when the people start the ritual of pilgrimage. So before you engage with the act of pilgrimage, which we are not going to talk about today because the pilgrimage is a huge subject, but preparation of it. What makes the Kaaba is most beautiful or most important is the memory that the Kaaba carries in its being, which is well known among the Muslim scholarship, that Kaaba is the representation of oneness of God. It represents the oneness of God. absoluteness of God. So why the Kaaba is representing this? Because of the Abraham's, if you like, experience that took place there with his son. By the way, the Quran doesn't specify which son is it. And that's very good. So there is no need to argue. Our prophet's ancestor or Jewish prophets, this is pointless. So the son. So we will study that, how his relationship with the son has started. So these are the preparation of the minds and hearts and feelings of the people before they start performing the ritual of the pilgrimage in Kaaba, in Mecca. So what we do, we understand that the Kaaba is the center of our world as far as our understanding of Tawheed is concerned. And the Kaaba has its significance from the Abraham's experience with his son. So it took place there, especially as far as the black stone, they call it, the black stone altar, where Abraham used to perform his duty towards his son on the altar. So what happened there? Let's read the verses. That's the preparation days. That's why they are very precious. So if you really prepare yourself, the purpose or the destination you will reach is to become a believer, a believer in one God, and submitting yourself to Him. That is the destination here in the Quran. Although this verse, there, a letter is missing at the end. إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Yeah. If you want to become a real believer in God and really prepare yourself for it, you have to go through these, if you like, preparations. These are the days that we have to prepare. That makes the day, prepare ourselves, that makes the day or these days very precious for us, if we do that. But if you don't prepare yourself, the day doesn't do anything to you, because you know that there are many people who don't believe in God and they share the same day with you. Nothing happens to them. So that is one thing in parenthesis that we have to mention. Outside world, anything which is outside of you, external to you, cannot have any effect on you. This is a mystery. Not a mystery, but because we are not used to understanding this, that's what it looks mystery, that we have to solve. If you read the Quran in its general context, we hear a lot of contradictory statements in the Quran. They look contradictory. They say, the Quran says, for example, the hypocrites do this, unbelievers do this, or the people of book do this. They want to harm somebody. They complain about the wrongdoers in general. And at the end of all these arguments, but on many occasions in the Quran, I don't know, maybe 100 times, maybe 200, I haven't calculated it, says, of course they want to do that, but they do it only with the permission of God. Only God has the effect there. So, for example, only God guides whomever he wants and misguides whomever he wants. Only God harms or does good to you. What is the point there in the Quranic mission or in the Quranic message? To teach us this, whatever is created in this world, this is created by one God. You can do a lot of things, but the act of creation belongs to God. You cannot create anything. You can only choose. For example, I can tell you an example, very practical example. You can use fire for good purposes. Can you? You cook food, you do something, you, for example, melt the iron and give a shape. Yep. But a fire is good for some purpose. But you can use fire for burning down a building and harming somebody. You can use fire for the bad purpose. But God says, look, whether you use fire for a good purpose or for a bad purpose, the power to create the fire, the power, the result that the fire is used as a means completely comes from the act of creation of God. Right? For example, people use scientific experiences or the findings of the rules in the creation of this world. They find it. For example, they find what the nature of atom is. For example, or any nuclear power they find in the creation. They can use the nuclear power in order to support a ship. For example, instead of using an enormous amount of fuel, the gas, petrol, or they can use it in order to make a weapon to kill not maybe hundreds, but thousands of people, maybe 1 million people. But who is creating the atom? Who is creating the quality of the atom? Who is creating these actions? People or the creator of the order of this universe? Who is doing that? We have to understand most of the people get puzzled when they read the Quran. They are trying to do this and that, and any harm or any good, usually Quran says, but they can only do it only if God wills to allow them to do them. What does it mean? Well, you can find out the nuclear power in the creation. You can use it in the good way, you can use it in the bad way, but you can only do it with the permission of God. What is the permission of God? To give the quality to the thing itself. Do you understand? The things cannot have their qualities by themselves. That's why everything is created as a result of the will of the Creator. But we are allowed to use it in the best way or in the wrong way. That is our responsibility to choose only, not to create. So we understand that everything is created outside, and these things which happen outside of our being cannot have any effect on us by themselves. Only through the free will that we experience, we use, make it either bad or good for me, for myself. Either I use the fire to cook my food, or I use the fire to burn somebody's property. I'm free to choose. But the act of burning is created by not me. I'm just using it. It is already created there. We have to understand it. We have to understand this point. Otherwise, we cannot make sense of the Quran. It looks contradictory. They are trying to do this, and they are trying to harm this, and God says, only with my will. If I will, they can do it. Otherwise, they can't. What does it mean? So it means God wills God wills to harm people? No. Only as I will in the external world to exist, human beings can use through their free will what I have already created. They cannot create. With my permission means bi'izni, bi'iznillah, with my permission. That's the vocabulary used in the Quran. Bi'iznillah, with the permission of God, with the will of God. Yeah. It means this is the power given to the fire, and it is created by God, and it has been, it is going to be created as well by God, depending on how I want to use it, this way or another way. I am not the creator. I am just using the freedom given to me. So external world, if you really are careful, cannot have any effect on you. Yes, if it is cold outside, you feel cold. I don't mean that. Still, it is the act of creation, but especially doing good for yourself or doing bad to yourself is concerned. So, for example, the word itself cannot make you either believer, nor can it make you disbeliever. The word is there, manifesting all the qualities given to it. It is up to you to benefit from the signs, qualities manifested in the creation, and understand that they are pointing to the absoluteness of the creator, or it is up to you to say that they happen by itself like this. You are free to interpret it, not to create, not to add anything to the universe, or not to extract anything from the universe. Just we interpret it. So, for example, I am sitting here. Oh, I am bored. Why? It's a boring place. For example, it's not a boring place. That's your interpretation. Yeah. You say, for example, I am under stress, so I hate this job. It is nothing to be hated there. That's your interpretation. And then afterwards, it really has an effect on you, because it is the order of the creation, right? So this relationship should never be forgotten. Everything is according to your interpretation of what has already been created outside. You cannot create anything, and the things cannot have any effect on you. You will be treated according to your attitude towards what externally exists out there. A person may be the most boring person with you, for you, but the same person may be the most lovable person for another one. So it depends on the people's attitude, interpreting their what is external out there. So we can look at the universe and say that God is great. Another person looks at the universe and say that it is meaningless. The same thing, same universe. What changed? The people's perception of the outside world is changed. It means inside is changed. We change. So unless we purify ourselves. It means we get a right attitude within ourselves towards anything created, saying that, for example, anything is created by God, right? In its creation, cannot be wrong, cannot be bad at all. For example, let's say, I don't know what you don't like. The earthquake is created by God. Just look at the earthquake, how the earth is shaking, and say, MashaAllah, God is great. Look at the order. Perfect. Yeah? But if the wall is coming on you, run away. It's perfect, but it's given to you the option. The option is given to you to run away, to protect your life. But whatever is created is definitely perfect for a purpose. If you see it and criticize it, that your misconception of the event out there, ultimately criticism of the creator. Yeah, you want to eat, you are hungry, and there is food there, you found out that the food has gone. It is rotten. Eh? It is gone. So it smells heavy. You eat, say, Alhamdulillah, thank you. The taste of this horrible taste, horrible smell, is the mercy of God not to eat it. It's a reminder for not to eat meat, it says, in its creation. So this is the act of God. Don't get angry. Be happy. It is in your attitude. It depends on your attitude. Not because the food is nice or because it is gone. It is gone is the right expression. Do you say that food is bad? Yeah, it became bad. It's nothing to do with you. It is everything is to do with your attitude. Be careful. You can solve all your problems. Whatever happens, you applied for a job, you got it. It's from God. You couldn't get it. It's from God. Learn and do whatever remains on you. But the getting the job or really not getting the job as an external creation must be the same for you. Yeah. Also, although we cannot use it in a theological sense, but in the creed of Islamic creed, literally it is used, khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allah, not existentially. According to my attitude, for example, I was hungry, I wanted to eat, but the food gone bad. That is share for me, because I need food and the food is not eatable. According to my understanding, this event is not good for me, but this is from Allah, the creator, and it is created by God. And think about it, the creation of this food has gone bad is good. It has many wisdom in it. Bad smell is excellent, so that you keep away from it. Right? And you learn that you shouldn't really store food, different food, before you finish the first one. Don't buy another one. Don't really pile up the things, as the Quran reminds. Yeah, finish it, use it, and then buy if you need it. So watch out for your behavior. So God is teaching you. They are gifts of God. We have to appreciate them. So there are many wisdom in it, many examples of wisdom in their existence. Try to see it and thank God. Don't criticize it. Everything is from God. That's what we have to learn. The external world doesn't have any effect on us. Everything affects us according to our attitude. And that's what Quran says. If something happens to you, it is because of your choice. If it is good, that's how God created you and taught you. If it is bad for you, from your perspective, because you have not really used your free will in the right way. You distorted your responsibility. Yep. Do you have any question about this? So we will see what's the example, inshallah.
So I like this food example. So when you see the food is spoiled, so there's a message in it. So you thank the creator. But practically speaking, when events happen to us in life, for example, you do apply for this job, you want it, and you don't get it. Yeah. It's not obvious, you don't obviously get the message. So
you get it? It is obvious. You are not given the job.
Right, I'm not.
And also you have to reconsider your application form, your preparation before. For example, if you don't know anything, for example, I don't know really almost anything about mathematics, and if I apply for a job, they will say you don't have any experience and they'll reject it. Of the kind that they say, I regret, something. Still, they don't regret. They say, stupid man, why do you apply for this job since you have no experience? But okay, when you receive it, you have to learn that you have to apply for the proper job for yourself or prepare yourself for the job you wanted. You learn it. It's an excellent way of teaching. It's a wisdom, full of wisdom.
And what is the creator teaching you where you're like, this close, you went through like a series of steps to getting that which you wanted?
That's your message. So these are all messages from the merciful creator, educating you, preparing you, teaching you.
So it's fair to interpret it as the food being spoiled. So maybe the Lord is preventing me from something.
Yeah, harmful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by creating in this way, and also if somebody didn't get the job, for example, the creator is teaching you, watch out, you have to prepare yourself. And according to your capacity, according to the conditions I have given you, you have to apply for the proper job, appropriate to your position, to your capacity. Yeah, if you say that, no, I have to be here. I want to be, for example, most of the people say, I want to be with my family. I have to get a job which is easy, which I like. Imagination, because they describe what they like. They make themselves feel like that one, not that one. Some people come from Mexico and say that I can, if I find a job in New York or Manhattan in a restaurant, I am the king. But you say, am I going to work in a restaurant? That's you. That's you. The same job there is excellent for another one, horrible for another person. But what makes it good or bad? The same job. It's not the job itself is good or bad. You have a certain attitude towards it. That's why it is good or bad. For you, that's why I always understand this. Good and the bad are all from God. Khayri wa sharri min Allah. But the good and the bad, in your expectations, I always need to put this extrapolation or extrapolative phrase there, according to you. Otherwise, everything in creation is absolutely good. There's no evil in creation. There is no bad in creation. Everything in creation is meant to be useful for me. So God is the source of goodness. Why the creator should create a world which will be harmful for me? Again, he created me. It is impossible.
Okay, that's great, but I'm just wondering my position in this universe. Am I, in again that same scenario, entitled to interpret the message in a way? For example, if I would have gone maybe this way, then this would have happened. So maybe
Of course.
I could, I'm totally.
You have to interpret it. You have to take the lesson, because every individual has been entitled to say that the universe is created for me. Not only your house, your room, the whole universe is created for you. You are in front of the universe because you have been given given enough quality to comprehend what is going on in the universe. So that is the universe in front of you. You are expected to interpret it in the right way. Use your abilities. Watch out. Be careful not to fall into a mistake, which is the result of one's imagination. Make the difference between what is my imagination, made up story, what is real out there. For example, saying that atoms are working by themselves. Look, imagination. By themselves. They have no conscious, nothing, how they can work. It's absolutely an obvious reality how the atoms can act by themselves. They have no power, nothing. No quality, no knowledge, no will, no choice. They cannot make themselves exist by themselves. But it's impossible. But this imagination, everything. We have to make sure that what is imaginary, what is real. Be careful. Can it happen by itself? Ask the question, you will understand that the universe has been given existence by a conscious being. Sure. So try to understand the means or the purpose in the existence of it, because the one who creates the universe doesn't show any sign that he's crazy. No sign. Do you see that the creator of this universe here, as far as you see, the maker of this universe is crazy, doesn't know what he's doing, confusing the things, sometimes forgets or neglects any sign. So when we say, I believe in God, I don't believe in God in my imagination. It is my conclusion of my own observation of the act out there. That's why we should never use the word God alone, except while we are praying. So alone. So don't say God. Always say God of what? Give an attribute to it, a qualification we have to use. God, who's God? What a God who created this guy. God who created this air. God is the one who prepared this universe for me. God is the one who rules this universe. God is the one who put this universe in the order that I can see, not God alone. This is the mistake the Jewish tradition has, because in the Jewish tradition, God is always used with his attributes. So without the attributes, when you say God, it stays in a vacuum, and so turns into a phenomenon in your body, in your mind, or in your imagination, which has no reality. So you have to use an attribute. So what they did in their tradition, don't use the word God at all. So Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox Jews don't use God. Even they write, how they write? G-D. They don't say God properly. This is obvious that there is a truth behind it, But this truth is misinterpreted or reduced, actually, to a simple-mindedness. I feel that all the Muslims here should never use God alone, always with qualifications. The qualification which makes your understanding of God is, if you like, legitimized, understood by you because of this. For example, if I say the engineer, what would you say? The engineer of what? Yeah? The engineer of what? If I say the engineer means nothing, I would say, I am using this laptop and the program is perfect. So the engineer of this laptop makes sense. Do you get it? With the qualification. The engineer of the laptop or the programmer of the software was perfect. So if I say the programmer is really excellent, it means what? Nothing. So God, when we use the concept of God as a title, as a name, proper name, we have to have a real reason why I am using this proper name.
Otherwise, that becomes imagination. Is that the point I'm trying to make? Because I'm trying to understand what is real and what is imagination. So imagination would be just saying out something without backing up with proper evidence and
assumption. I believe in God. That's it. I believe in God. But when we say God, it doesn't mean that we are denying God, anything, but you have to have something in your mind. God is the Lord of this universe. God is the orderer of this universe. God, the designer of this thing. God is the one who gave a wise existence to this creature, for example. So it must be the result of your experience. You cannot imagine, you cannot really mention God in vacuum. But while you are praying, of course, you say, I am addressing the one I concluded earlier. Now I am experiencing it or putting it into practice, say that I worship you, God. But you have to have the background. So the belief must be established on your observation of the universe as you experience it. And the universe will mean to you according to your experience, according to your conclusion, according to your will. What do you want to do? If you don't want to accept anything above you that you have to look up to, you have to see that this is my Lord. For example, what do? The universe happened accidentally. Yeah? But I don't care. It means, I don't care, it means. Is there any sign of accident in the universe? They say no, everything is in order. We have to find out order. The same man who says the universe happened to exist accidentally, and he is a scientist, finds out the rules, principles, and these principles are expected to be universal. Don't you see that a simple contradiction next to each other? But he doesn't want to accept it. He doesn't want to accept to regard that this universe as an order. That means I have an owner. That means I am accountable to him. And that means I have to acknowledge him I have to live in this world accordingly. Running away from responsibility. What is the responsibility? Acknowledge him. But everybody wants to be a boss. I don't want any boss about me. Yeah. In the workplace, there is somebody, a nasty boss. Most of the employees complain about their bosses, and the bosses are always wrong, according to the employees. So he complains about the boss. He wants to be independent, and in his own word, an individual word, I don't want any boss, and I don't want to see my creator, my owner. I want to declare my own independence. How? By denying the realities is in the universe, in existence of everything. They happen by themselves. Forget about it. It has always been like this anyway. You understand? These are very human weaknesses. But we have to be brave enough to accept or face the reality and say, okay, I have a boss, but I don't want to submit to him. That is another stage. But don't deny the reality. I have a boss, but I am not going to obey him. That's your choice still, but at least don't deny the obvious reality. Accept that you are a weak person, you have a weak personality. Be brave. Be, how do you say, courageous with your reality. I am weak. I don't want to submit, but there is a boss. There is a Lord. Say it. And God says, okay, as long as you acknowledge, but admit that, confess that, that's your weakness. But don't deny the truth. Don't deny the truth. But confess that you are weak. Yeah.
I have a question related. How can I separate what is real, let's just say, real from my imagination? For example, science. When I'm conscious of the signs that God sent me, how can I separate for what I think it is a sign that He sent me of what it's maybe my imagination? How can I separate that imagination of what is real, that maybe it's a sign that He sent me?
He sent?
A sign. Sending, like He's sending a signs.
But what is the sign? What are you looking for as a sign?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm aware of what is happening,
yeah,
of my universe and
yeah,
my surrounding,
yeah,
and maybe there is something happening,
whatever it is, yeah, whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
So how can I identify if that happened because it had to happen in order for me to be conscious and, I don't know, maybe to take it as a sign? You know what I mean?
No, well, don't take anything special. Everything is a sign. The universe is yours. How can you make that this is not a sign for me? This is not a sign for me, and this is a sign for me. No, everything is a sign. So some people, I mean, are you waiting for a special message that you will hear out of blue or from the clouds or something? No, everything's a sign. Here, there is a person next to you. It's a sign. It's a creator. And look at her, and you understand who made her. You can easily analyze it. You can easily study it. Everything is a sign. But taking lesson from the creation, learning is different. We are talking about the interpretation of the creation. Whatever is created is a sign. Can you just tell me one example which is created is not a sign? Everything is a sign. But most of the time, we fail in perceiving the signs in the creation because we don't discover what is in our being. It means what constitutes me as a human being. Starting from myself, majority of the people do not appreciate their human qualities. We have been given endless qualities. We are extraordinarily miraculous creatures. You can imagine, I can know, I can move, I can choose, I can relate, I can make sense, I can interpret. I'm very intellectual, I am conscious of myself, my being, and everything around me. And I can investigate further and further and further. I can make tools within the rules of the universe in order to go into deeper and deeper order in the creation and analyze the order in the creation and come up every day with a new order, a new being in the creation. And I can communicate with them. I'm not a simple being. If I don't understand something out there, it means I'm not using myself. It means it is my laziness, not aware what qualities I have been given. So let's read this verse and go back to our subject. Who's going to read the verses? Would like to read? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay, Bismillah.
Rabbi habli minas salihin wa bashsharnahu bi ghulamin halim falamma balagha ma'ahu sa'i qala ya bunayya inni ara fil manam anni athbahuka fanzur madha tara qala ya abti af'al matu if'al matu ya abatif al matu mar satajidini insha'allahu minas sabirin falamma aslama wa tallahu lil jabin wanadainahu an ya Ibrahim qad saddaqtur wa ya inna kadhalika najzil muhsinin inna hadha lahuwa bala'al mubin wa fadainahu bizbihin azim bizabihim azim.
Your old countrymen are crazy about it. Zabiha. They know nothing of religion but Zabiha. Mostly. Yeah.
وتركنا عليه في الآخرين سلام على إبراهيم كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين.
Okay. Now, sorry. Okay. The translation.
Brave man.
Translation. Yep. Would you like?
Where are you?
Yeah.
Okay. This way's easier. Okay. My Lord, grant me a righteous son. So what? So we gave him good news that he would have a patient son. And when the boy was old enough to work with his father, Abraham said, "My son, I have seen myself sacrificing you in a dream. What do you think?" He said, "Oh, my father, do as you are commanded, and God willing, you will find me steadfast." And when they had both submitted to God, and he had laid his son down on the side of his face, we called to him, "O Abraham, you have fulfilled the dream. This is how we reward those who do good." It was a test to prove their true character. We ransomed his son with a great sacrifice, and we left him be praised by succeeding generations. Peace be upon Abraham. This is how we reward those who do good. Indeed, he was one of our believing servants.
Now, the key word here, I think we have to go a bit faster than I expected. The key word here, who would like to? What do you think the key word here? Yeah, the key word. What, have you studied it?
Ransom?
Ransom for you. Then you? Sorry? Test? Oh, okay. Okay, test. All right. Although we will interpret it only. So, the key word, another suggestion? Any? Submitted. Okay, I understand why. And, okay, any other suggestion? Yeah? Mu'minin? Okay. Well, come to my expectations. Read my mind. I'm waiting for the key word.
Steadfast.
Sorry?
Steadfast.
Steadfast? The key word. Let's sorry?
Willing.
Sorry?
Willing.
Willing. So what I am looking for is the key word in order to relate this story to our practical life.
Patient.
No.
Good news.
So, sorry, I need to try. I couldn't hear her.
My Lord.
The key words related. All right, they are all related. Yeah, but I am looking for this one. No.
Which one do we miss?
My Lord, grant me a righteous son.
It's not a word.
Righteous son.
Still not a word.
Either son. Now, you want something? Who wanted to get a job? You? Okay, that's your son. Now, you are asking God, give me a good job. Give me a good job. Okay? But who else has another son? What's your son? You have to relate it to yourself. Abraham's story, for Abraham, he didn't have any children. He wanted to have a righteous son so that his descent will continue and carry the message. So, what is your son? And what are you expecting? Anything? Anybody?
I have a lot of sons.
Sorry?
I have a lot of sons.
Lots of sons, but the best one, the most important one.
That's a tough
Huh? A righteous wife or husband. Well, okay. We have to define what is my son. And I am asking God to give me that one. I will be the happiest man. Right? Okay, you are applying for a job. You applied for a job, huh? Or not applied. How many applications? 100? Yeah. So, God may righteous son. So, we gave him good news that he would have a patient son, right? So, you received a letter that would you be available for a telephone interview next Monday at 9 o'clock? Ah, good news. It's coming, right? It's coming now. I'm going fast. Do you see the sign? You see the sign that, for example, you want to get married and you find somebody, or usually your parents find somebody, and you say, no, they say yes. Oh, that night you can't sleep. Yep. So you have you received a good sign now. Okay. We are applying this story in the Quran to our real life. So this story in and of itself is nothing for me. Abraham wanted a son. Okay, good for him. And God said, okay, I will give you the good news that you will have one. That's his story, none of my business. Why we always ask this question, why does God tell this to me? It is related to me. So you will have a son, you will want a son. Everybody has a son. Yeah, the ultimate aim that he wants to get. And when they see the signs that they are going to have it, they get excited. That's the good news now. But of course, there are, as everybody says, some words here as the key word of the story. The being patient, being a believer, the Lord, asking Lord, of course. I mean, you are asking from your Lord to fulfill your expectations. And you start seeing the signs that your expectations will be or is going to be fulfilled. And it is a patient one, means the external object is patient. You may be impatient, but the external object is patient. It is created out. God says, the Lord says, okay, I'm going to give you, and let me see what you are going to do. Now, and this beautiful lady said, it is a test, but this is not the test for God, but it's an opportunity that God is testing me. It is an opportunity for me to understand what my stand is in the universe before the Lord of the universe. We have to understand that. It is a test for me. So what I wanted from the Lord, and he gave me something. He gave me the news that he is going to give what I want from my Lord. So he is going to give. I've seen the signs that it is coming, whatever you are expecting from. And this is a test from your side. I am going to have this, whatever I want, my son, in quote unquote son, as a gift from my Lord, or that's my object of worship. That's it, I got it down. I got the job now, forget about God. The Lord who gave it to you. That's the most of the time we are asking God to give us something. When we got it, what happens? We forget about God. That you gave it to you. We start relating ourselves to that object. For us, it is a test now whether this object is the one I am really desiring, or my desire is to be in contact with the Lord, so to be in touch with him, so acknowledge his lordship over me. Do you understand the difference? I don't think I made it clear yet. Now, when you want something, we call it practical, in practical language, whether I worship the object, it means I attach all importance to the object itself, or I attach importance to the one who gives the object to me, which is my object of worship. The Son or the Lord who gave it to me. That is my test. But not God is testing me. It's meaningless. God is not testing you. God is the creator of you. You will take it as a test for yourself. I asked God to give me this, and He gave it to me, and now I attach my heart to the object, not the one who gave the object to me. That's what mostly we fail in the test. Do you get it? Abraham went through this. Now, let's see how his story goes, so that it will be an example for me that I will go through this as well. It is inevitable. Do you love youth? Yes, it is going to be given to you that you are a young person. It is going to be taken away from you. Your test is, do you worship your youth, or do you worship the one who created the youth for you? Which one? Which one are you worshiping? Test yourself. For example, do you want to get the job? And you say, please, God, the creator of the universe, give me the job, prepare the opportunities. You get the job. Now your test is, am I satisfied, be careful here, with the job or with the one who gave me the job? You like life, to be alive, healthy, health. You like to be healthy. You love health. So you say, when your stomach aches or something goes wrong with you, you say, please God, give me health, ya Shafi, ya healer. Okay. And then health is given to you. Now, are you worshiping the health itself? Or the one who provided the health for you? The health itself, the life itself, is temporary. Never respects your expectations. Cannot fulfill your expectations. But the one who provided it can. He is the creator of the universe. He is the absolute one. I'm not talking about how do we know that it's absolute. It's not our subject today. So the creator of the universe must be absolute. His life-giving must be absolute as well. The life is given to you in order to make you realize that the one who gives you life is the absolute living one, source of life. It is a call for you to come and acknowledge him. He is the source of life. But what we do, we divert the direction of love to the life itself. Definitely it is going to be taken away. You cannot trust the life. You are expected to trust in the life giver. Do you understand the process? That is your test. Put yourself on a test. What am I worshiping? The life or the life giver? What is my object of worship? The life or the life giver? Which one? Ask yourself. Anything in the world that you are encountering with, anything in the world, are you taking that thing that you wanted to have as an object of worship, or the one who gave it to you is your object of worship. So Abraham is undergoing this test now from his side. Now, and when the boy was old enough to work with his father, now you got the job. It is working. The money is coming. The payrolls are rolling. Yeah, into your bank account. You are happy. Yeah, Abraham is happy with his son. Now he's working together, doing the job together. He is an help. Yeah, he helps him. So that's beautiful. So old enough to work with his father, Abraham said, "Oh, my son, I have seen myself sacrificing you in a dream. What do you think?" It means I am realizing that you are transient. You are going to die. You are going to leave me. What shall I do? What shall I do now? Can we be separated? Is it possible? So when you get the job 1 year, 2 years, it becomes a routine. You say, this job is boring. I want to get another job. It's not really the source of satisfaction for me. You start realizing the news, the dream, the vision is starting coming to you. I am going to lose it. One day, definitely, at the latest 20 years later, I will be retiring and I will lose the job. And 30, 40 years later, I will die. The job will disappear. I will disappear from this life. You start getting the white hairs on your sides here. Signs. You are temporary in this world. You are transient in this world. These things are all transient. You cannot trust them. These are the dreams of Abraham. Realize that it's temporary. But I love him. He is the only one that I can trust in this world. Now the dilemma. Yeah? The narration says he dreamt of it over and over again. It means one day you understand that you have a toothache. The other one is the hair is getting white, gray. And the other one, another day you start having I don't know, a sugar problem or tension, or how do you say this?
Hypertension.
Hypertension, or the doctor said, don't eat this anymore and stop eating something, or you have to do this exercise. Oh, the signs are coming, and again you start dreaming, and again and again and again. You are going to sacrifice this son. Yep. Do you understand why my keyword is the son, related to my practical life as far as this story is concerned? So what he said, "Oh, my father, do as you are commanded." It means the object that I am worshiping is a patient person. You can leave me. I don't mind. Because I am not the object of your worship anyways. It's comfortable. The problem is with you, not the job, not with the thing you love, or the house, or whatever, the furniture, or the beautiful, I don't know, hair. Is that not there? What's happening to your hair? It's losing. Look, going slowly, saying that, oh, you are having a dream, dream saying that you have to sacrifice them. You have to sacrifice them. Don't worship them. Don't trust them. Yeah, they will leave you alone. You cannot trust them, right? So the object is, for example, the hair is falling or getting gray. They don't mind. They are patient. They accept any command from their creator. They cannot disobey. They have no choice. When death comes, it comes. No one can stop. they are patient with the command of their creator. But the problem is with me. Am I patient with the command of my prayer? Am I happy to leave my false gods? Am I ready? That is my question. So, oh my Father, do as you are commanded, and God willing, you will find me steadfast, patient. Yeah, the objects totally submit themselves to the commands of their creator. They exist only as they are desired, willed to exist. But the problem is with my free will, with my choice, what I am choosing, what I am really concentrating on, what is my objectives in this world. So let's see. And when they had both submitted to God, of course, Ustad Nader's hair submits to God with no hesitation at all. But when Ustad Nader also says, okay, I accept that, I don't attach any importance to hair itself, to life itself, to health itself, but whatever my creator allots me, gives me, grants me, I am happy with it. I can only worship the creator, not the created objects. So when they are ready to submit themselves, everything works perfectly. It doesn't mean that you should resign from your job. It doesn't mean that you should pull out your hair. Yeah, it will do it. Don't worry. Just submit yourself to the creator. Don't be sorry for anything which is designated, decided by your creator. Whatever comes from him, say, it is from him. It is from my Lord. It is from my owner. So my existence belongs to him. Why bother? If I'm not going to trust in the one who created me, whom else I can trust? Do you think the Federal Bank is going to save you? If you have a small problem, Federal Bank can't do anything. Only the one who creates the universe can do everything. So there's only one way we have to submit to the creator. When you do it, it's very easy, both of you. The son is already ready to submit. The problem is with you. Can you slaughter your son? Son is ready. Okay, I'm here. Come on, slaughter me. But can you do that as a father, as the owner of the job, owner of beauty, owner of youth? Can you submit and slaughter it and say that I need God, not this one? Are you ready? Which is more difficult? For the father, here is the father, here is his daughter here. Which is more difficult? For the daughter to submit or for you to slaughter her? Which one is harder? Yeah? She will say, I don't know, Father, whatever you do, do it. But how about you? Can you do that? Can you harm your daughter? Is it possible? Give me the answer. No. No, it's impossible. It is impossible for a father to kill his son or daughter. It is impossible. Even you are an atheist. Even a person atheist doesn't believe anything, everything is accidental. So he must live in this world randomly. Randomly, I have a son. Randomly, I slaughter them. Must be easy. This is crazy. These people who think that the creation is random is crazy. So randomly slaughtered, is it possible? He's an atheist. He doesn't believe in the hereafter. He doesn't believe that he's accountable for anybody. And after he dies, everything will disappear or disintegrate and become a compost. Can they slaughter their child? Can they? No, impossible. No, there is no random in their life, but they say the universe happened randomly. It is an obvious contradiction, obvious, whatever. So the most important thing is not with the job, not with the beauty, not with youth and health, but it is with you. Can you live it? Can you sacrifice it? Say that I don't worship you, but I worship only the one who gave you to me. Yeah? That is the sacrifice. Let's see what will happen. Although we don't have much time, I'm in a hurry. And when they had both submitted to God, and he had laid his son down on the side of his face. Now, right there, son is ready to say, I understand that it is not the job that I worship, but the creator of the job is feeding me. Creator of the job can satisfy me eternally. For example, you may say it is not the youth that I worship, but the creator of you as a young man, person, can give you youth, but you cannot trust your youth. As a joke, I always say this, I was as young as you are, even younger than you are. Yeah. Once upon a time, I was younger than you. Where is it? God. So if I can detach myself to the created things and instead attach myself to the creator of those things, I can sacrifice them. I can put my son on the altar, which is the black stone, represents the Tawheed, practiced in the life of Abraham. La ilaha. Nothing in this world can be worthy of worship. I can slaughter it. That's why we go around Kaaba to commemorate that this event took place here. The most precious thing is the person was ready to sacrifice it for the sake of obeying, submitting their honor. That's why when you go on the pilgrimage, you have to remember these buildings that, very simple buildings, very ridiculous building. What's that? Just 4 walls. And because of this building has black stone in it where Abraham has sacrificed his son. It means practice La ilaha. La ilaha. There is nothing in this world is being worthy of worshipped. Being worshipped. Now, it's beautiful. So, he laid the son. It means our son is, what was our son is? Youth, job, money, hair. That's brother Nadir's problem. I was worrying about it as well. Look. So don't worry. They are ready to submit, but only we have to accept this reality that they are given to us as a sign that the creator can create it and give it to you. He is absolute. He is absolutely the creator of the hair. But the problem is with your perception of it. Seeing that I don't want to lose my hair. But hair says, I'm ready to submit myself to the command of God. I'm ready to go. Hair says, but it is me ready to sacrifice it or not. So, we call to him, oh, Abraham. Now the communication started. With whom? With the Lord. And the one who is ready to obey his command. Right? The friendly relationship. It is called in the language of the Quran, wali. Yeah. the friend, the intimate friend. Now the friendship has been established between Abraham and his Lord. Oh, Abraham, can you imagine your God? When you say, oh, I understand that this youth has been given to me by the one who is the creator of this universe, and he is absolute, he is infinite, he can give me eternal youth. And you start hearing that, what's your name? Awesome. Oh, awesome, I am here. You just acknowledged my presence there. Thank you. Do you understand? I was already there anyways. So when you are ready to receive the command of the Creator and acknowledge him, you will find him next to you, saying, oh, Abraham. It's beautiful. You can use your name there. Yep. So you have fulfilled the dream. Yeah, it means you have followed my way of creation and understood the reality, and you submitted yourself. You slaughtered your job, your youth, your hair, your whatever, health, but attached yourself to the creator of youth, creator of life, creator of hair, everything. Example, your job, you are ready now. Yeah, you have fulfilled the dream. This is how we reward those who do good. It means make a right choice, make a right decision. That's the reward now. Now, you are not going to lose the job. Don't worry about it. You are not going to lose and kill yourself now. You are not going to be ill right now. As soon as you understand that this health is given to me in the form of a trust, as a sign that my creator is the creator of health as well. Right? As soon as you realize it, you fulfill your dream, and don't worry about it. You will receive the reward now. What is the reward? To get acquainted with the one who is eternally life giver, eternally youth giver, creator, the absolute one. You are now acquainted with him. That is the reward. You trust your existence, your expectations, all your hopes, and attach him to the eternal source now. The job is transient, but the creator is not. The health is transient, but the creator is not. Life is transient, but the creator is not. Oh, you now understood that you belong to an eternal one. Do you understand? Yeah. So reward is within your realization. God is there, but you didn't know. You didn't realize. The creator is there. You didn't realize. As soon as you take a right attitude, you start realizing it. Right? The reward is there within the belief itself. In the Islamic literature, they say paradise is in your belief. Within your belief. When you submit your being to your creator, you are in paradise. Why? You find yourself as if a drop fallen into the ocean. Now you are in ocean. Yes? The belief includes the seed of paradise. After resurrection, this seed will grow into the tree of Tuba, which is, in the language of the Quran, the paradise. Paradise means a garden. Garden where you enjoy your life. That this garden will grow out of the seed of your belief. Your belief, not an assumption, your acknowledgement of the truth and submitting to him, to it. Yes, Tala.
So I guess I have more of a practical question. With regards to sacrificing whatever it is that you hold dear, I guess it's hard. So say, for instance, what you hold dear is your youth, for instance, or your job. if you still have that thing, it's hard to make that practical step of or thought process of thinking of how to sacrifice it. Say, for instance, for me, my youth is what I hold dear. But since I still have it, it'll be hard for me to go through this thought process. Or I'm not sure how to go through the thought process
Very simple.
for something that
What is the source of existence of your questioning? Youth. It's dear to you. What is the source of existence of your youth? Questioning. Where did you get this youth? But you don't have to be an 80 years old man in order to understand that, oh, youth is transient. Look at me. Look at me. I was young like you. So you say, where did I get it? How come that I was young once upon a time? Who creates it? Who gives existence to it? When you realize it, that's it. You sacrificed your youth, ready to sacrifice it, but the reward is you found now the youth giver is eternal. So you belong to that eternal. You belong to that eternal. So don't worship youth, but worship the creator of youth. Now, reward is in this realization. Let me go further because time is getting really. It was a test to prove their true character. This test is we never understand this test. God is testing me. No. It is, I don't want to use this word, but it's meaningless. I would want to say silly. God is testing you. It's a silly concept. Meaningless. The eternal one is testing you. You are testing within, you are being tested according to your understanding, your perspective. It is a test for you, whether you are doing something right or wrong. Check yourself with this test. To please understand this word in the Quran, very frequently used. Given the opportunity to you so that you will understand whether I am right or wrong. You can test yourself, whether you have learned the truth or not. You are ready to submit yourself to the truth or not. Test yourself. If you say, still I believe in God, I pray today 5 times a day, I am a perfect Muslim, but if you really admire your youth, your job, you be proud of your job rather than the one who creates this world and the job for you, rather than being proud of your Lord. If you are proud of your job, it means you failed the test for you. Please understand this word. It's a very frequently used word in the Quran. If you don't really understand it rightly, it becomes a problem. God is testing me. Why God is putting me in troubles? It's not troubles. God is not really putting you. God is giving you the opportunity to find the truth. And you have to test yourself whether you are loyal to the truth, you are obedient to the truth, ready to submit yourself to the truth or not. That's your problem. God has no problem. He's the creator. That he didn't know what this man is going to do. Let me see this one. And give another trouble and let me see this one. I don't know what to do with this guy. How can I really manage with this guy's future, etc. It's a story. Cannot be correct because it contradicts the main principles or main teachings of the Quran itself. God is absolute. Ahad. Absolute. No limit, nothing. So what is he teaching? What is he learning from you? It's ridiculous. You learn, you test yourself. Am I right or not? Check yourself. It's an opportunity to find out the truth by questioning your stand, whether you have a right stand, right attitude or not. So we ransomed his son with a great sacrifice. Okay. For example, you were hungry. Yeah. You were hungry. You want to get a good food and the food is there. Okay, you got it. Now it is time, you got your son, it is time to sacrifice. The signs come. I'm going to eat this, and tomorrow I will be hungry again. How can I guarantee that I will have food for tomorrow as well? The signs come. You realize that you were full yesterday and you are hungry today again. Transience of the creation. So are you ready to sacrifice? How? It is not the food who satisfies me. The creator of the food is really sacrificing me. I have to be grateful not to the food, but to the creator of the food, who is the one who creates and sustains the whole universe. So I have to trust him. Now when you are ready, you are with God, who is the absolute nourisher, absolute provider. You found it. You belong to him now. But when you say this, when you sacrifice the food and find God, is the food is taken away from you? When you understand that the job is nothing, but the one who provides the job is everything. Is the job is taken away from you? No. Slowly, it gives news. It gives the dream. It is going. It will go. It will go. Don't worry. It will go. Don't worry. But I am here. Yeah. But I am here. Your youth will go, but your creator is still giving you existence in another form. According to you, comparatively, I am old. Yeah, you will get old. But your youth life and old life, both are created by the same creator. He is there. So it is not going to be taken away immediately because you believed in God. You are going to lose your job. You said that I worship the Lord of the universe. I don't worship the job. It means you are not going to lose your job. What will happen in Abraham's story now? Okay. We ransomed his son with a great sacrifice. We left him be praised by succeeding generations. So we know that the story says a ram and a sacrifice was given to him, and he didn't lose anything. His son is with him. But he realized that I am not going to worship the son. I am not going to take the son as the object of my own hope. My object of my hope is my Lord. And he leave it with his son. Yeah? Now, they both died. But Abraham and his son, in the example, gained the eternal creator in their understanding and will be treated by their creator according to their understanding. If you study medicine, you will be a doctor. If you study engineering, you will be an engineer. Yeah. If you learn perfectly, you will become a perfect engineer. If you learn like me, most of the time break the class, etc. So I used to do that. So you will be an engineer like me, unemployed. Yeah. Accordingly, you will be treated. So it's a peace be upon Abraham. Abraham will be in peace. His son will grow. He will get old. He will die, and his son will die, but Abraham's attitude is in peace. He is now with his absolute eternal creator. He realized that, he experienced that, he educated himself with this understanding. He will be graduated from this universe, from this existence, as a believer in God, as a submitter to God. So his degree is there, believer. So let's read this. This is how we reward those who do good. Indeed, he has one of our believing One is our believing servants or worshippers. How is it translated? Okay, worshippers. The servant is not, I don't know who serves God. I've never served God. He serves me always. So, worshippers, it means his reward is his degree. He left this world as a one who believes in God and submitted himself to God, and he will be with his degree. His profession now will be accordingly. His eternal life will be accordingly. So the stories in the Quran, when they are related to your practical life, they make beautiful sense. And it is very useful for me. If you read it as a story and tell the story, a legend for Abraham in the history, the Quran becomes a stupid book. Be careful. A meaningless literature, meaningless, tells me this story. And I don't know whether Abraham lived somewhere. I have no idea who he is, etc. But when you relate it to your real life, it becomes as a real teaching for you. And really, it is a guide for your real life experience. So please, when you read the Quran, think that my Creator is speaking to me in order to guide me right now in my problems. Right now, speaking to me and related to my real situation right now. Whatever the situation you have, read it. Always read it within the context of your own case, not within the context of the prophet's case or the story's case. Do you understand? For example, Muhammad was, alayhi salatu wasalam, was ill and disappointed, happy, whatever. And upon this event, the God spoke to him. It is his business, nothing to do with me. Yeah? Irrelevant. The Quran becomes irrelevant if you read it in an historical context. You have to dehistoricize the Quran. Otherwise, it becomes a legend book, really, or epic or something, a literature book. And when you really recite it beautifully, it becomes an, how do you say, of a song, a text of a song. How do you say?
Lyrics.
Lyric of a song. You enjoy. Most people love songs. So please, don't be reductionist. Don't have a reductionist attitude to the eternal speech of the Creator. Don't read it as another literature piece, as if you are reading a beautiful literature piece. It means nothing. It becomes nothing. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah. Inshallah, we will emphasize on this aspect of the Quran at the end of each story we study. Today's story. Now, Tolo. These are the days we have to experience what Abraham experienced before building the Kaaba, establishing the symbol of Tawhid in the world. Right? These are the days which are the most important days in your life if you go through these preparations. But if you say, oh, these are the days, more sacred days, if I pray 2 rakats sunnah, it will be doubled by 1,000, go and pray. You get nothing. Assalamu alaikum. So, but with this consciousness, pray, yes, you get everything. If only you are ready to slaughter your son, put him on the face and say, I'm not going to worship you. You cannot help me at all. This word cannot satisfy me. Right? Then you are prepared to receive the eternal happiness, which is paradise. Inshallah. This is why it is worth everything. Everything. Now, the day itself is the same, but your attitude it changes everything. That's the beginning of the discussion today we had. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.